guys, so I just wanted to first start off by introducing myself. My name is Paige Gandara-Valderas and I am from San Antonio, Texas. I am a high school art teacher and I'm also getting my master's degree in art education, and I am an artist. I am an artist in all kinds of aspects, but I mostly identify with being a caricature artist. Caricature art is a type of art that focuses on the human form, the human anatomy, and creates some form of like humor. We work live, we do commission work, we travel, and we're hired for events. We are able to do these live sketches and also just kind of have fun with the art form in general, because it's not always about the live sketching. It is, how can we push our art to another level? What kind of mediums can we work with, and just kind of experiment with this art form specifically. I wanted to thank the Indigenous Summer Arts Encounter for having me be a guest artist to speak to you guys virtually. I hope you guys enjoy this video and learn a few things. I also wanted to get started with just some of the general questions and like how it ties into Indigenous arts. So thank you guys again for having me. I'm super excited to be sharing with you guys my story, and hopefully it helps to influence some of your art practices. So today I'm going to be talking about how my cultural upbringing has helped influence my art. So I would say being from San Antonio, Texas, and just being surrounded by other artists and just the art forms and art areas around the city has really helped me in general. We have this area called the Blue Star Arts Complex here in San Antonio, Texas, and basically I remember going there during First Fridays, and I was a high schooler. I've been an artist my entire life, but I was in high school, and I just remember going to these First Fridays and being so influenced by all of these really wonderful artists from around the city. But basically, artists will just gather together during the first Friday of every month and sell their artwork and just showcase what they have to offer in the city of San Antonio. So I remember thinking, I want to do something like that. So I jumped on it. I actually started selling my artwork when I was in high school, and I got a spot at First Friday. I was about 14, 15 years old when I first started selling my art professionally at these events. But I remember just, being an artist my entire life. If you don't have a certain style of art just yet, that's okay. I think as a young growing artist, it's important to really kind of test things out and see what you like personally. I am actually a caricature artist. I have been a caricature artist for about 8 years, and I started this also when I was in high school. So I started doing caricatures at the Riverwalk, and then I went into college and basically do the events on campus. And then after college, I became an art teacher, started offering caricature classes to my students at Burbank High School, and I now travel the country and I have different connections from all across San Antonio. So as a caricature artist, we are really a close community and we all pretty much know each other from around the world. So to answer a few of the questions that I was sent, the first one is, what does it mean to be an Indigenous artist? So I really think that this can have several interpretations. For instance, I am a Hispanic female that lives in San Antonio, Texas, and I create art in San Antonio, Texas. And even when I travel cross country, I'm still representing my city. So like if I'm working in New York, I will always say I'm from San Antonio, Texas. So like the people know that they are getting art that is being represented from our area. And I just think that being an Indigenous artist is really understanding where your foundations start and how you've grown and how that's helped to influence your art practices. And even to this day, I'm still super inspired by the community around me. Everything from the other caricature artists here in San Antonio, Texas, to the practicing artists and muralists and painters. It's just really inspiring to be a part of the San Antonio art community. And so I think it's really just being proud of where you came from and how that's helped you to grow as a practicing artist. The next question is, how does community affect your work? I think having a community of artists is really important. I think that when you work by yourself, yes, you can grow. Yes, you can do different things. But when you work alongside other artists, you can pick up little things from each of those artists. Like, you don't even really have to talk to one another, though that's important. But basically, you sit alongside these artists and you look at what they're doing, and then it gives you new ideas for your own art. So I think having that community and being open to working with other artists, that's just really important. For instance, in my case, I am in the community of caricature artists, and so I am constantly inspired and influenced by these artists from around the world. Also, I'm a part of the San Antonio artist community, so basically we can collaborate with each other. Like, I might be the caricature artist, but then I also know some painters and I also know some sculptors, and then coming together as a group of artists to represent where you're from is just a really wonderful thing. So how do I speak to people through my art? I am a caricature artist. Like, I do a bunch of different art, especially through like being an art educator, a high school art teacher. But basically the way that I communicate through my art is just being present. I think as a caricature artist, having that face-to-face time where the person is sitting right in front of you and you're conversating with them and you're drawing them and they're having a great time, I think that speaks. It's not just about the art, but how does that art make the other people feel? How does it make you feel? I know when I have great experiences with doing my caricature art around the country, local, I meet all sorts of kinds of people, and it's not just about the art piece, but what kind of experience did you make them feel like? And what kind of experience did you give yourself? You will feel that much more gratifying giving them a great experience and having them like the art piece. So what I would want future generations to learn from my work specifically is that caricature art is important, and caricature art is really an art form in itself, and there's so much more to the art form than just a funny face, skinny neck, small body. That's not what we're about. We have and go beyond. We push our art. We speak the truth in ways that create humor, in ways that create value, and people love our work. People love to see drawings of themselves. I would also like to say that once you find your suit, don't feel like you can't expand and do other things, because even though I am a caricature artist, I am also a graphic designer, I'm also a photographer, I'm also a painter, a sculptor, and I do everything. So don't ever be afraid to kind of push your art and really kind of figure out what works for you, and just being experimentative in your art practices. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really fun making it, and I hope you guys learned something or got inspired, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the summer, and talk to you guys soon. Please reach out if you have any questions.